Oh, it's a great honor for him. Even better that he was able to do it as part of a team that won the conference championship. So, sometimes in sports, the hardest thing to do is what you're supposed to do. And, in our case, with our team, being expected to win the championship and finding a way to do it, and Doug being named preseason player of the year, and finding a way to do that as well is a feather in his cap.
Does it make it more special with those preseason honors and all the target on his back, so to speak?
I just think it's harder to do. It's harder to do when everybody's shooting for you, and you got a big X on your back. You're going to see that everybody's best defensively, and I just think that makes it more difficult to accomplish, and probably makes the award a little more special.
Greg, one say wasn't unanimous. Were you surprised?
Yeah, I mean, who knows? I mean, it's media members. I mean, come on.
It's coaches.
Who's asking the questions?
Obviously, Ethan, a great announcement for him. I say congratulate him over here. How nice is that to see as well?
It's great, and Ethan is very deserving. It's one thing to do what he does for us. It's another thing to accept and embrace the role that we've actually asked him to play. And I can't remember one time in the time that I've coached Ethan that he's questioned anything that we're doing. He's trying to find a way to impact this team, and obviously he impacted our team in a huge way on Saturday.
He had gone through some soul searching after that. What did you talk to him about the end of the season?
Well, with a shooter, you have to have a next shot mentality. You have to have a very short memory, and I think there are times where Ethan gets into thinking too much about the shot, and just not going out and shooting the basketball. So, if anything, we've tried to unclutter his mind and just go play, just go do what you can do, get your feet set, and knock down shots. And he did that in a huge way for us Saturday. And, he's a big reason why we've been as successful as we've been.
Your teams have won a lot of games since you've been here. Going back to St. Louis, the opportunity to win back-to-back championship, is that a possibility to you?
Well, it would be incredible. Number one, it guarantees you a spot in the NCAA tournament. Probably enhances your seed along the way. So, not many teams get a chance to go back-to-back because you've got to win the first one to have a chance to repeat. So, we're excited about going back down there. We know we're going to have a great following. That makes it less.
3 games in 3 days. How difficult is that? How much does depth mean when you get into the tournament?
Well, depth is certainly important. We're not quite as deep a team as we were a year ago. But I would like to think that that'll be canceled out by the fact that we've got a lot of guys that have been in that situation before and have won 3 games in 3 days and understand what it takes to do that. So we just have to be careful with what we do in our preparation. We need to go hard, but not very long. And when we get to St. Louis, we got to keep the guys off their feet as much as we can. I don't think they've ever been than they are this year. Somebody told me that 6 wins by Southern Illinois was the most wins by a last-place team in 20-some years. So I just think that speaks to the balance in our league and to the fact that the team that wasn't expected to do well at all in our league had one of the best Februarys of anybody in the conference. Certainly that's a credit to Coach Hinson and his staff and the job that they've done. Anything can happen in St. Louis. I think that's been the case every year. It's certainly more true this year than probably at any time, at least in recent history.
You talk about the 5,000 Creighton fans that are going down to this and what that may mean to have that atmosphere. Plus the send-off they give you at the hotel.
Several of the guys made mention of it Saturday. That even though we played our last game in the Century Link Center, that really wasn't our last home game because it's going to feel like home games this weekend in St. Louis. So that's awesome that our guys feel that way. It's incredible that we have that many fans that come down to support us. And the send-off we get, there's nothing like it. I'd be be surprised. You'd have to search far and wide to have a team that has that kind of send-off for their conference tournament. It's a special thing that we have at Creighton, and something that our guys truly enjoy.
The way you guys cut down the nets last year, obviously you know that feeling. How much of a motivator is that to get that feeling back again this year?
Well, that's where it all starts. Our guys are going down there with a focus of what needs to happen for us to be successful. That'll start with our 3 days of practice this week. We've been a little sharper the last couple of games, a little bit closer to being our old selves again, and we need to try to bottle that up and make sure when we leave the practice floor Thursday morning after our last preparation that we're feeling confident and ready to go.
Are y'all peaking at the right time, you feel?
I would say so. We scored 80-some and 90-some in the last 2 games, so offensively I think we're back hitting our stride. We did some good things defensively against Wichita. They hit some shots and we were okay with them taking and we were able to battle on the backboards, which is something that needed to happen for us to have a chance to win that game.
For you personally, Coach of the Year is an announcement for the days. It's not something you think about, but with Doug winning Player of the Year and you potentially having a shot at winning Coach of the Year, how special could that be for a father and son to accomplish in a season?
It really makes no difference to me. I'd rather be the coach of the team that won the league than the Coach of the Year anytime. So the fact that he was the Player of the Year on the team that won the conference that I coached, that's plenty for me.